Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making cheeseburger soup.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Thought I'd bring along today. We are having some cheeseburger soup. It's a cold spring day today. I'm gonna use my Instant Pot, and this takes probably under a half an hour from start to finish. And you might even have everything in your pantry. We just need ground beef, onion, carrots, potatoes, some celery, beef broth, and then like sour cream milk and some cheese. So let's get started. You want to turn your Instant Pot onto saute. So hit the saute mode, that's gonna get hot. I'm going to put in 1 pound of ground meat. We're gonna get that all browned up. And as that is browning, we're gonna dice up, just letting you know that it's on. I'm gonna dice up about a half an onion. I'm gonna throw that in as that cooks. We're just gonna chunk up the beef. Mine is still a tiny bit frozen, but it's all gonna get cooked, so.
Oh, Denny smells last week's episode. Do you smell that bread Mama made? Yeah,
So we just wanna get the meat browned. This takes a second to get going, but once it does, it really gets going. So as that is browning, we're going to get 2 carrots. I've just peeled these. You can shred them, but I'm just gonna slice them real small because once they cook in the Instant Pot, it kind of cooks them so well they kind of, I don't wanna say disintegrate, but it definitely makes them a lot smaller. So I'm just cutting these nice and super thin so they'll cook quickly, because this one does cook really quickly. Like I said, it's probably a half an hour from start to finish, and that includes the time that the Instant Pot takes to get hot. So this has become a very quick favorite of our family, with the meat and the potatoes and the vegetables in it with the cheese. It's just so, so delicious. All right, I've got 2 stalks of celery. They're already cut in half. I'm gonna cut them lengthwise here. Give us a little stir here. Yum. I'm gonna give that just a tiny bit of seasoning. Whoopsie. We're gonna put more salt and pepper on, but I always like to layer my spices as we're cooking. And you know what? I'm gonna even add a tiny bit of garlic. Just a little sprinkle. Keep breaking those bigger chunks up. All right, so I have 2 medium potatoes. You can use russet or Yukon Gold or the red ones. I'm gonna use some Yukon Golds. I just washed them real good and I trimmed off some of the yuckier parts on there. I'm gonna leave the skin on, and we're just gonna make it into a small dice. When you're dicing these, you just wanna think what is gonna fit on your soup spoon. That is the size that you want.
Denny.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what he's gonna do with potato. Don't eat that, kid.
Raw potato, he gonna
No,
eat it.
not for you.
Too late, he ate it.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. Delicious, he crunched it up. He think it's
Did he?
good.
Huh.
He think he got a treat.
I don't think.
Raw potato, it's so gross.
I'm not a fan, but a lot of people like them.
Well, you know, hey, if you're hungry enough, everything tastes good. And he's always hungry.
So true. It's almost there. All right, when you're waiting for your last little bit of ground beef to get browned, you want to make sure you have some salt and pepper, some basil, and some oregano. We're gonna pop that in as well. and also 4 cups of beef broth. So I just use the Better Than bouillon. I've got just some water in here and 4 teaspoons of the bouillon paste. I always have that in my fridge. It's super handy to keep on hand. So if your beef is super fatty and there's a lot of fat in the bottom, you're gonna wanna drain that out. So stick some paper towels in there and sop that up because you don't want that left in your soup. This is pretty lean beef, so I don't think I'm gonna do anything. I'm just gonna keep adding. All right, so all of my beef is no longer pink. Get all that onion off. Now all we're gonna do is add, well, let's do this. We're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, which is about what I have left in this little thing. So I'm gonna stick that in. We want a half a teaspoon of basil. Then about half a teaspoon-ish of pepper, and then about a teaspoon of salt. We'll get that in. And I'm not even gonna stir it. I'm gonna take all of my vegetables, stick that on top. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, don't worry, I will leave the instructions for your crock pot in the description below, as well as the instructions for the Instant Pot. All right, so we've got that in. I'm just gonna kind of flatten it out. So you wanna hit your cancel button on your Instant Pot and turn that off. We're gonna pour our 4 cups of beef broth in. Just dump that in. You can kind of see that everything is pretty much covered. Make sure you don't have any potatoes sticking out. Don't stir it, just make sure everything's covered. Grab your lid, and turn that. This is the hardest part backhanded here, guys. I can do it when it's facing me. There we go. All right. You're gonna turn it on high pressure for 3 minutes. And that's it. So we're gonna let it come to pressure. It's gonna cook for 3 minutes. And then I'm gonna let it do a natural release for 5 minutes. So when it gets down to 0, it's gonna count back up to 5, and then I'll do a quick release of that. As we are waiting, we're gonna do the whole cheese part here. So we need a cup of milk, and make sure you get a bigger measure cup because we got other stuff to add to this. Now, if you are gluten-free, don't do this step because we're gonna add flour to this. What you want to do is just add a little bit of cornstarch slurry to the end to thicken that up. But I'm going to get a 1/4 cup of flour and get it in here. And a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And I'm just gonna guesstimate. I'm just gonna take my whisk. You can have that later, Denver. And get this mixed up. Now, when we release all the pressure, we're gonna put this in and 2 cups of shredded cheese. So this is just gonna thicken the soup up nice. It's gonna give it a velvety, delicious texture. And honestly, I'm not really dirtying very many dishes, which is a plus. All right, so we are going to let this come to pressure. We're gonna let it cook. I'm gonna set this to the side. You can like make a salad, get some bread out, something else to serve with your soup. And I will be back when the buzzers go. So we had a 5-minute natural release. Then I hit the button to release the rest of pressure. The pin went down and now you can safely open your lid. And it's still gonna be super hot. Oh, it smells so good. The potatoes are cooked.
Ooh,
yum.
man, that just hit me. It smells
So good. So we're gonna take the flour, sour cream, milk mixture, pour that in. Give that a stir. As it cools, it's gonna thicken. It's gonna be just wonderful. All right, now let's add 2 cups of shredded cheese. Yum. We actually tried this soup by like cutting up some dill pickle because it is cheeseburger soup. It was pretty great. So if you want to try that, go ahead. I'm just going to serve it with a fresh loaf of bread today. So my hand is about 1 cup of cheese. So I'm going to put 1 cup in, I'm going to stir it, and then I'll add another handful. There we go. Oh, that cheese is just melting. I'm gonna let it set here for just a second. It's gonna cool off. It is way too hot. I want all that cheese to melt and thicken up a little, and then we'll get it plated up. Yum! You can see how it's thickened up. The cheese is all melted. Oh my goodness gracious. Got a nice bowl here. Yum, you guys, look at that. It's so yummy. I love the velvety texture the cheese brings. It's so good. And you feel like you're getting something because it's got the meat and potatoes in there. All right, sprinkle a little more cheese on just for prettiness here. Yum, yum. Look at this. I'm gonna give it a little taste here. I know it's hot. Oh, that's so good. So when you taste it before you serve it, you might need more salt, you might need more pepper. Add that as you'd like. I think mine is good. I don't like things too salty, but man, this is good. You guys, it was so fast. And hopefully you learned something about your Instant Pot. If you've never used one before, this is a great starter recipe. But I just want to say, hey, thanks for watching. If you're new today, I'm so glad you joined me. You guys, I hope you're enjoying my videos and my recipes. And I hope you join me on my next episode, and I will see you then. You guys have a wonderful day. Cup of milk. I'm going to stop because my microphone just fell off.
Break.
Yeah, I just felt it fall.
Oops, I can't find yours.
I have it in my hand. I'm like, here's a great stopping spot. It just fell.
Okay, still rolling. Here we go. Hold on. Okay.
We really should.
Start over.
Yes. It dispersed. Oh my gosh. We took it.
Give me a pause and come in.
I'm trying to remember. Is that clear?
That was.
Okay.
Gonna taste good, I know.